Jai Guruji. Anandam Shukrana Guruji for this beautiful blessed seva. Last week we read chapter 27 and 28 of Rudra Samhita section 5. In this we read that story of demon Shankachur. Now in this story we read that there was a demon Dambha who was a very virtuous and great devotee of Lord Vishnu. He was the great grandson of sage Kashyapa, and despite everything, the only problem he had was that he did not have a son. So he made Shukra his preceptor and learnt the mantra Krishna. Then he went to the holy center of Pushkara and started doing a great penance for about 100,000 years. Now when he was doing this great penance, there was great refulgence that emerged from his head and spread everywhere. Because of this unbearable refulgence, the gods and the sages and the Manus were scorching. Now because of this, because of their plight, they sought refuge in Brahma. Now Brahma then took these gods to Vaikuntha, and there they told Lord Vishnu about everything. Vishnuji laughed and he told them that it was due to the penance of demon Damba, and decided that he is going to grant the boon to the demon so that the gods can get some relief. So he went to Pushkara and he asked Damba to request for a boon. So Damba requested Lord Vishnu to grant him a son which was powerful and valorous, and he could conquer the three worlds, as well as he would be invincible to the gods. Now hearing this, Lord Vishnu granted him the boon and disappeared from there. Then Damba went back to his palace, and there soon after his wife became pregnant and then gave birth to a son who was called Shankachur. Now Shankachur was brought up very lovingly, and when he attained youth, he also went to Pushkara and performed great penance to appease Lord Brahma. Once the god was pleased, Lord Brahma appeared in front of him and asked him to request for a boon. So Shankachur requested Lord Brahma to make him invincible to the gods. So Lord Brahma granted him the boon and also gave him a divine amulet called Sri Krishna, which was the most auspicious thing in the universe, and it would grant victory everywhere in the world. So having that after giving the amulet, Brahma disappeared from there. No, he also Brahma instructed him to do one more thing. He said that you should go to Badri and marry a girl named Tulsi, who was a daughter of Dharmdwaja, and at the behest of Brahma, Shankachur went to Badrika Ashram, and there he saw Tulsi, who was the daughter of Dharmdwaja, who was performing a penance there. There he went and explained Tulsi about him, and he also told Tulsi about his previous lifetime. He told Tulsi that he was Sudama, friend of Lord Krishna in his previous lifetime, who was cursed by Radha, and because of that he had become demon in this lifetime, and at the behest of Brahma he had come to marry Tulsi. So as they were talking, Brahma appeared in front of them and directed Shankachur to marry Tulsi, and also told them that in the end of the life they will both attain Lord Vishnu. After that, Shankachura married Tulsi and went back to his father's palace. Today we will read chapter 29, which is the previous birth of Shankachur, and chapter 30, which is the prayer to the lords. The English reading will be done by Manish Uncle today, and we also have Hindi reading today. We will be reading chapter which is a brief summary of from chapter 13 to chapter 29 in English, and it will be done by Rachna Auntie. Jai Guruji, enjoy the readings.
Shukrana Guru Maharaj for the seva. Chapter 29 of Rudra Samhita section 5, the previous birth of Shankachur. Sanat Kumara said, when Sankachud returned home duly married after performing the penance and receiving the boons, Danavas and others rejoiced. Leaving their world and accompanied by their preceptor, the Asuras assembled and approached the Danava. They bowed to the resplendent Danava, their lord, humbly and eulogized him with love and respect. They stayed with him alone. On seeing the family preceptor, Sankachud, son of Damba, bowed to him with devotion and prostrated before him with respect. After conferring with excellent benediction, Shukra, the family preceptor, narrated the tales of gods and Danavas. He expatiated on the natural enmity of the two, the invariable defeat of the Asuras, the victory of the gods, and the help rendered by Brahaspati. With the consent of the Asuras, the preceptor Shukra made him the emperor of Danavas, Asuras, and others with jubilant festivities. The delighted Asuras were highly joyous. They offered him presents lovingly. The son of Damba, the heroic and valorous Sankachud, shone as the emperor of Asuras. Taking a vast army of deities, Danavas and Rakshasas, and seated in his chariot, he marched quickly to the city of Indra with the intention to conquer it. The leader of Danavas, going in the midst of his attendants, shone to the moon in the midst of stars, or as the sun in the midst of planets. On hearing that Sankachud was coming, Indra, the king of heaven, accompanied by the gods, made preparations for a fight. Then a tremendous fight ensued between the Asuras and the gods, delighting the heroic and terrifying the cowardly. It caused hairs to stand on end. When the warrior rode in the battle, there was a tumultuous noise. The sound of drums and the instruments encouraged the warriors. The powerful gods fought with the Asuras ferociously and defeated them. They were afraid and fled. On seeing them fleeing, their leader Sankachud rode like a lion and fought with the gods. With his power and force, he distressed the gods. The gods could not endure his dazzling brilliance. They fled. The gods, thus vanquished, took shelter in the caves of the mountains. They lost their independence. They were subjugated. They lost their luster like the frozen sea. Thus the son of Damba, the valorous leader of Danavas, conquered all the world and took up the powers of the gods. He kept up 3 worlds under his control. He partook of all the shares in sacrifices. He became Indra and ruled the universe. He carried the task of Kubera, moon, sun, fire, Yama, Vayu, according to his ability. The great hero, the powerful Sankachud, became overlords of the gods, Asuras, Danavas, Rakshasas, Gandharvas, serpents, Kinnaras, Nagas, and in fact all the people of the 3 worlds. Thus Sankachura enjoyed the kingdom of worlds for many years. He became a great emperor. There was no famine, plague, or pestilence in his reign. The planets were not inauspicious. There was no worry or sickness among the people. The subjects were happy forever. Even without being tilled, the earth yielded plenty of plants and vegetations. Many medicinal herbs grew up. Plants remained always fruitful and juicy. The oceans yielded plenty of gems and jewels. Abundant flowers and fruits grew up on the earth. Rivers flowed with pure crystal clear waters. Excepting the gods, all living beings were happy and free with distress. The people of 4 castes and stages of life maintained their respective duties and activities. When he ruled, none of the miserable in the 3 worlds. None was miserable in the 3 worlds. Only the gods were reduced to misery, and that too by their fratricidal jealousy and enmity. Sankachud was a close friend of Krishna, the resident of Goloka. He was powerful and always engaged in devotion to Krishna. O sage, although he was a Danava, his nature was different. He was born as a Danava due to a previous curse. Oh dear, thereafter the defeated gods, deprived of the kingdom, consulted among themselves and went to Brahma, assembly chamber along with the sages. They saw the Creator and bowed to and eulogized him. With distress they explained to him everything in detail. After consoling the gods and the sages, Brahma, accompanied by them, went to Vaikuntha that yields happiness to the goods. Accompanied by the god, Brahma saw the Lord of Lakshmi decorated with a crown, earrings, and a garland of wild flowers. On seeing Vishnu bearing Sankha, Kakra, mace, and the lotus, the Lord with 4 arms, yellow garments, accompanied by Nandana, Siddhas, Brahma, and other gods, bowed to the Lord along with the great sages. They eulogized him with palms joined in reverence. O Lord of the universe, Lord of the gods, O Lord of Vaikuntha, save us who have sought refuge in you. O illustrious Vishnu, O elderly one in the 3 worlds, O Lord Vishnu, O Lord of the 3 worlds, you alone are the protector of the worlds. O supporter of Lakshmi, O Govinda, O the vital heir of devotees, obeisance be to you. After eulogizing thus, all the gods cried in front of Vishnu. On hearing it, Lord Vishnu spoke to Brahma thus. He said, why have you come to Vaikuntha, inaccessible even to yogins? What distress has befallen you? Tell me just here. Sanat Kumara said, on hearing the words of Vishnu and bowing to him with palms joined in reverence, he narrated to him the activities of Sankachud and the distress suffered by the gods. On hearing that, Vishnu, who knew everything, laughed. The Lord then told Brahma the secret of Sankachud. Lord Vishnu said, O lotus-born Brahma, I know everything about Sankachud, a great devotee of mine, a great splendor, and who had been formerly a cowherd. Hear all the details about him, the old narrative. There is nothing to be suspected. Shiva said, necessarily perform what is good. His religion called Shivloka is greater than the greatest. It is above everything. Shiva, the supreme Brahman, the great god, shines here. He is the presiding deity of Prakriti and Purusha. He wears 3 Shaktis. He is both devoid and possessed of attributes. He has the great splendor for his form. O Brahma, the 3 deities bringing about creation, etc. are born of him. They are Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva, endowed with Sattvika and other attributes. He alone is the supreme soul. He sports there with Parvati. He is free from illusion. He is the formulator of the eternal and non-eternal. The Goloka is near it. Shiva's cowshed is situated there. Krishna, having my form, stays there as Shiva's behest. It is to tend his cows and bulls that he has been ordered by him. Deriving happiness from him, he too sports there. His wife Radha is the mother of the universe. Her form is greater than Prakriti. It is the 5th sportive form. Many cowherds and cowherdesses born of her live there. They are sportively inclined to follow Radha and Krishna. That very same Sudama, now born as Sankachuda, has been fascinated by her by Shiva's illusion. Cursed by Radha, he is born as a Danava to his distress. Krishna has already ordained that the death of Sankachud will be by Rudra's trident. Casting off his body, he will become the comrade again. O Lord of gods, knowing this, you need not have any fear. Let us seek refuge in Shiva. He will do everything conductive of our good. You, I, and the gods stand here fearlessly due to that only. Sanat Kumara said, after saying this and mentally thinking about Shiva, who the Lord of all is favorably disposed to his devotees, Vishnu went to Shivloka accompanied by Brahma. Chapter 30, Prayer to the Lord of the Gods, that is Lord Shiva. Sanat Kumara said, O Vyasas, starting then itself, along with Brahma, Vishnu, the Lord of Lakshmi, went to Shivloka, highly divine, propless, and unearthly. He was glad, and his face beamed with pleasure. The region was strewed over with many gems. It was highly brilliant. The first entrance of the variegated nature with many ganas standing there. It was resplendent, lofty, and beautiful. After reaching it, he saw the gatekeeper seated on gem-set thrones. They had gem-set ornaments and white garments. They had 5 faces, 3 eyes, and fair, handsome bodies. They were trident-bearing heroes shining with bhasma and rudraksha. Both Brahma and Vishnu bowed to them humbly and told them they wanted to see the Lord. They permitted them to enter. They saw another door, very beautiful, variegated, and very brilliant. They informed the gatekeeper of their desire to approach the Lord. Permitted by them, they entered and saw another door. Thus Brahma, entering through 15 doors and reached the main threshold, he saw Nandin. After bowing to and eulogizing Nandin, as Brahma did before, Vishnu was permitted by Nandin and he entered joyously. Going in, they saw the grand assembly chamber of Shiva, highly decorated and thronged by his attendants with lustrous bodies. The attendants had similar forms with Lord Shiva. They had 10 arms, 5 faces, 3 eyes, and blue necks. They had auspicious luster and were brilliant. They were bedecked in ornaments set with gems. They wore rudrakshas. They had smeared themselves with the ashes. The chamber was square in shape and beautiful like the lunar sphere. Gems, necklaces, diamonds, etc. increased its brilliance. Valuable precious stones were used to stud them. It was brilliant by lotus petals. Manikya, Padmaraga, and other valuable gems were used in the same. It was very wonderful. It was laid according to the desire of Shiva. It had hundreds of steps leading to it, each made of Syamantaka stone. Knotted golden threads joined them. Beautiful sprouts of sandal beautified it. Columns of sapphire supported it. It was richly decorated. The wind wafted fragrance everywhere. The chamber was 1,000 yojanas wide. Many servants were in attendance. Vishnu, the Lord of gods, saw Shiva seated along with Parvati. Shiva was in midst of his attendants like the moon surrounded by stars. He was seated in a variegated throne set with valuable gems. He had a crown on his head, earrings in his ears. He was embellished with gem necklaces. Ashes were smeared all over his body. He held a toy lotus. He was seemingly watching the song and dance going on in front of him. He was calm and delighted in the mind. He was highly brilliant. He was chewing the fragrant betel leaves offered by the goddess. He was attended upon by Ganas with white chauris and eulogized by Siddhas with stooping shoulders with great devotion. The great Lord Shiva, the progenitor of the 3 deities, the Lord beyond the reach of attributes, who assumes the discords, his forms as he pleases and is invariable, who is free from illusion, unborn, the primordial being, the Lord of illusion, greater than the greatest and greater than the Prakriti and Purusha. On seeing Shiva of perfect features, Vishnu and Brahma eulogized him together after bowing to him with palms joined in reverence. Vishnu and Brahma said, O Lord Shiva, Lord of the gods, O Supreme Brahman, Lord of all, O quite one that is beyond the 3 attributes, O Lord, progenitor of the 3 deities. We have sought refuge in you. O Lord, save us who are distressed. O Lord Shiva, we are harassed by a Sankachud and so dejected and nay exhausted. Save us. The region that is adjacent to his place is called Goloka. Lord Krishna is its presiding deity. One of his leading attendants and comrades, Sudama, cursed by Radha and led by fate, has become Danava Sankachud. O Shiva, the gods divested of all powers, ousted and harassed by him, roam over the earth now. Except by you, he cannot be killed by any one of the gods. Please kill him and render the worlds happy. You alone are devoid as well as possessed of the attributes truthful, of infinite valor, embedded in the goods of greater than Prakriti and Purusha. At creation, O Lord, you are Brahma, the creator through Rajas. O protector of the 3 worlds. In the activity of protection through Sattva, you are Vishnu. In the dissolution through Tamas, you are Rudra, the annihilator of the universe. In the state free from the 3 attributes, you are Shiva, the 4th one of the form of brilliance. At your behest, Krishna, the protector, goes to Golaka, stationed in the middle of your cowshed. He sports day and night. You are the cause of all. You are the Lord of all. You are Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. You are free from aberrations. You are the constant witness. You are the supreme soul, the great Ishwar. You are the redeemer of the distressed and the poor, the protector of the kinsman, the distressed, the Lord of the worlds. You are favorably disposed to those who seek refuge in you. O Lord of Parvati, uplift us. O Lord Shiva, be pleased. O Lord, we are subservient to you. You do as you please, O Lord. Sanat Kumara said, after saying this, O Vyasa, those two deities, Vishnu and Brahma, bowed to Shiva and stooped. They joined their palms in reverence and stood humbly. With this, we conclude chapter 28 and chapter 29 and chapter 30 of Rudra Samhita section 5. Rashna auntie will read the Shivpuran reading in Hindi. बहुत बहुत शुक्राना.
जय गुरुजी. शुक्राना गुरुजी फॉर दिस सेवा. अध्याय 13 से 29. दम की तपस्या और विष्णु द्वारा उसे पुत्र प्राप्ति का वरदान, शंखचूड़ का जन्म, तप और उसे वर प्राप्ति, ब्रह्मा जी की आज्ञा से उसका पुष्कर में तुलसी के पास आना और उसके साथ वार्तालाप, ब्रह्मा जी का पुनः वहां प्रकट होकर दोनों को आशीर्वाद देना और शंखचूड़ का गांधर्व विवाह की विधि से तुलसी का पानी ग्रहण करना. तदनंतर जलंधर की उत्पत्ति से लेकर उसके वध तक का प्रसंग सुनाकर सनत कुमार जी ने कहा, मुने, अब शंभू का दूसरा चरित्र प्रेम पूर्वक श्रवण करो. उसके सुनने मात्र से शिव भक्ति सुदृढ़ हो जाती है. व्यास जी शंखचूड़ नामक एक महावीर दानव था जो देवों के लिए कंठ का स्वरूप था. उसे शिवाजी ने रण के मुहाने पर त्रिशूल से मार डाला था. शिवजी का वह दिव्य चरित्र परम पावन तथा पापनाशक है. तुम पर अधिक स्नेह होने के कारण मैं उसका वर्णन करता हूँ. तुम प्रेम पूर्वक उसे श्रवण करो. ब्रह्मा के पुत्र जो महर्षि मरीचि थे, उनके पुत्र कश्यप हुए. ये मननशील, धर्मिष्ठ, सृष्टिकर्ता, विद्या संपन्न तथा प्रजापति थे. दक्ष ने प्रसन्न होकर अपनी 13 कन्याओं का विवाह इनके साथ कर दिया. उनकी संतानों का इतना अधिक विस्तार हुआ कि उसका वर्णन करना कठिन है. उन कश्यप पत्नियों में एक का नाम दनु था. वह श्रेष्ठ सुंदरी तथा महास्वरूपवती थी. उस साध्वी का सौभाग्य बड़ा हुआ था. मुने, उस दनु के बहुत से महाबली पुत्र उत्पन्न हुए. विस्तार भय से उनके नाम नहीं गिनाए जा रहे हैं. उनमें एक का नाम विप्रजित था, जो महान बल पराक्रम से संपन्न था. उसका पुत्र दम हुआ, जो जितेंद्रिय, धार्मिक तथा विष्णु भक्त था. जब उसके कोई पुत्र नहीं हुआ, तब उस वीर को चिंता व्याप्त हो गई. उसने शुक्राचार्य को गुरु बनाकर उनसे श्री कृष्ण मंत्र प्राप्त किया और पुष्कर में जाकर घोर तप करना आरंभ किया. वहां सुदृढ़ आसन लगाकर कृष्ण मंत्र का जय करते हुए उसे 1,00,000 वर्ष बीत गए. तब उस तपस्वी के मस्तक में एक जाज्वल्यमान तेज निकलकर सर्वत्र व्याप्त हो गया. वह तेज इतना दुस्सह था कि वह संपूर्ण देवता, मुनि तथा मनुष्य संतप्त हो उठे. तब वे इंद्र को अगुआ बनाकर ब्रह्मा के शरणापन्न हुए. वहां उन्होंने संपूर्ण संपत्तियों के दाता विधाता को प्रणाम करके उनकी स्तुति की और फिर विशेष रूप से व्याकुल होकर अपना सारा वृत्तांत उनसे कह सुनाया. उनकी बात सुनकर ब्रह्मा भी उनके साथ लेकर वह सारा वृत्तांत विष्णु को सुनाने के लिए वैकुंठ को चले. वहां पहुंचकर सब लोगों ने त्रिलोकी के अधीश्वर तथा रक्षक परमात्मा विष्णु को विनीत भाव से प्रणाम किया और फिर हाथ जोड़कर उनकी स्तुति करने लगे. देवता बोले, देव देव, हमें पता नहीं ये कौन सा कारण उत्पन्न हो गया है. हम किसके तेज से संतप्त हो उठे हैं, यह आप ही बताइए. दीन बंधु, अपने दुखी सेवकों के रक्षक तो आप ही हैं. अतः शरणदाता रमानाथ, हम शरणागतों की रक्षा कीजिए, रक्षा कीजिए. सनत कुमार जी कहते हैं, मुने, ब्रह्मा आदि देवताओं के वचन को सुनकर शरणागत वत्सल भगवान विष्णु मुस्कुराए और प्रेम पूर्वक बोले. विष्णु ने कहा, अमरो, शांत रहो, घबराओ मत, भयभीत ना हो. कोई उलटपलट नहीं होगा, क्योंकि अभी प्रलय का समय नहीं आया है। यह तेज तो दम्भ नामक दानव का है, जो मेरा भक्त है और पुत्र की कामना से तप कर रहा है। मैं उसे वरदान देकर शांत कर दूंगा। सनत कुमार जी कहते हैं, मुने, भगवान विष्णु के यों कहने पर ब्रह्मा आदि देवताओं की व्यग्रता जाती रही। वे सभी धैर्य धारण करके अपने अपने धाम को लौट गए। इधर भगवान अच्युत भी वर प्रदान करने के लिए पुष्कर को चल पड़े। जहाँ वह दम नामक दानव तप कर रहा था, वहां पहुंचकर श्री हरि ने अपने मंत्र का जाप करने वाले भक्त दम को सांत्वना देते हुए मधुर वाणी में कहा, वर मांग। तब विष्णु का उपर्युक्त वचन सुनकर और उन्हें आगे उपस्थित देखकर दम बड़ी भक्ति के साथ उनके चरणों में लोटपोट हो गया और बारंबार स्तुति करते हुए बोला। दम ने कहा, देवाधिदेव कमल नयन, आपको नमस्कार है। रमानाथ, मुझ पर कृपा कीजिए। त्रिलोकेश, मुझे एक ऐसा वीर पुत्र दीजिए जो आपका भक्त तथा महाबल पराक्रम से संपन्न हो, वह त्रिलोकी को जीत ले, परंतु देवता उसे पराजित न कर सके। सनत कुमार जी कहते हैं, मुने, दानवराज दम के यों कहने पर श्री हरि ने उसे वर दे दिया और उस घोर तप से उसे निवृत्त करके स्वयं अंतर ध्यान हो गए। दानवेंद्र दम की तपस्या सिद्ध हो चुकी थी, जिससे वह मनोरथ पूर्ण हो गया था। अतः वह भी श्री हरि के चले जाने पर उस दिशा को नमस्कार करके अपने घर को लौट गया। थोड़े ही समय के उपरांत उसकी भाग्यवती पत्नी गर्भवती हो गई। वह अपने तेज से घर के भीतरी भाग को प्रकाशित करती हुई शोभा पाने लगी। मुने, श्री कृष्ण के पार्षदों का अग्रणी जो सुदामा नामक गोप था, जिसे राधा जी ने शाप दिया था, वही उसके गर्भ में प्रविष्ट हुआ था। तदनंतर समय आने पर साध्वी दम्भ पत्नी ने एक तेजस्वी बालक को जन्म दिया। तब पिता ने बहुत से मुनीश्वरों को बुलाकर उसका विधि पूर्वक जात कर्म आदि संस्कार संपन्न किया। द्विजोत्तम, उस पुत्र के उत्पन्न होने पर बहुत बड़ा उत्सव मनाया गया। फिर शुभ दिन आने पर पिता ने उस बालक का शंखचूड़ ऐसा नामकरण किया। वह अपने पिता के घर में शुक्ल पक्ष के चंद्रमा की भांति बढ़ने लगा। वह अत्यंत तेजस्वी था, अतः उसने बचपन में ही सारी विद्याएं सीख ली। वह नित्य बाल क्रीड़ा करके अपने माता पिता का हर्ष बढ़ाने लगा और अपने समस्त कुटुंबियों को तो वह विशेष रूप से प्रेम भाजन हो गया। तदनंतर जब शंखचूड़ बड़ा हुआ, तब वह जैगिष्वे मुनि के उपदेश से पुष्कर में जाकर ब्रह्मा जी को प्रसन्न करने के लिए भक्ति पूर्वक तपस्या करने लगा। उस समय वह एकाग्रमन हो अपनी इंद्रियों को काबू में करके गुरुपदिष्ट ब्रह्म विद्या का जप करता रहा। यों पुष्कर में तपस्या करते हुए दानवराज शंखचूड़ को वर देने के लिए लोग गुरु एवं ऐश्वर्यशाली ब्रह्मा शीघ्र ही वहां पधारे और उस दानवेंद्र से बोले, वर मांग। ब्रह्मा जी को देखकर उसने अत्यंत नम्रता से उन्हें अभिवादन किया और फिर उत्तम वाणी से उनकी स्तुति की। तत्पश्चात उसने ब्रह्मा से वर मांगते हुए कहा, भगवान, मैं देवताओं के लिए अजय हो जाऊं। जब ब्रह्मा जी परम प्रसन्न होकर बोले, तथास्तु, ऐसा ही होगा। फिर उन्होंने शंखचूड़ को वे दिव्य श्री कृष्ण कवच प्रदान किया, जो जगत के संपूर्ण मंगलों का भी मंगल और सर्वत्र विजय प्रदान करने वाला है। तदनंतर ब्रह्मा जी ने उसे आज्ञा दी कि तुम बद्री वन को जाओ। वहीं धर्मध्वज की कन्या तुलसी सकाम भाव से तपस्या कर रही है, तुम उसके साथ विवाह कर लो। यों कहकर ब्रह्मा जी उसी क्षण उसके सामने ही तुरंत अंतर्ध्यान हो गए। तब तपस सिद्ध शंखचूड़ भी, जिसके सारे मनोरथ तपोबल से पूर्ण हो चुके थे और मुख पर प्रसन्नता खेल रही थी, पुष्कर में ही उस जगत के मंगलों के भी मंगल स्वरूप कवच को गले में बांध लिया और ब्रह्मा के अनुसार वह तत्काल ही बद्रिका आश्रम को चल पड़ा। वहां दानव शंखचूड़ सहसा उस स्थान पर पहुंचा जहां धर्मध्वज की पुत्री तुलसी तप कर रही थी। सुंदरी तुलसी का रूप अत्यंत कामनी और मनोहर था। वह उत्तम शील से संपन्न थी। उस सती को देखकर शंखचूड़ उसके समीप ही ठहर गया और मधुर वाणी में उससे बोला। शंखचूड़ ने कहा, सुंदरी, तुम कौन हो? किसकी पुत्री हो? तुम यहाँ चुपचाप बैठकर क्या कर रही हो? ये सारा रहस्य मुझे बतलाओ। सनत कुमार जी कहते हैं, मुने, शंखचूड़ के ये सकाम वचन सुनकर तुलसी ने उससे कहा। तुलसी बोली, मैं धर्मध्वज की तपस्विनी कन्या हूँ और यहाँ तपोवन में तप कर रही हूँ। आप कौन हो? सुखपूर्वक अपने अभीष्ट स्थान को चले जाइए, क्योंकि नारी जाति ब्रह्मा आदि को भी मुंह में डाल देने वाली होती है। यह विषतुल्य, निंदनीय, दोष उत्पन्न करने वाली माया रूपिणी तथा विचारशीलों की को भी श्रृंखला के समान जकड़ लेने वाली होती है। सनत कुमार जी कहते हैं, महर्षि, तुलसी जब इस प्रकार रस भरी बातें कहकर चुप हो गई, तब उसे मुस्कुराती देखकर शंखचूड़ ने भी कहना आरंभ किया। शंखचूड़ बोला, देवी, तुमने जो बात कही है वह सारी की सारी मिथ्या हो ऐसी बात नहीं है। उसमें कुछ सत्य है और कुछ असत्य भी है। इसका विवरण मुझसे सुनो। शोभने, जगत में जितनी पवित्र पतिव्रता नारियां हैं उनमें तुम अग्रणी हो। मेरा तो ऐसा विचार है कि जैसे मैं पाप बुद्धि कामी नहीं हूँ, उसी प्रकार तुम भी काम पराधीना नहीं हो। फिर भी इस समय मैं ब्रह्मा जी की आज्ञा से तुम्हारे समीप आया हूँ और गंधर्व विवाह की विधि से तुम्हें ग्रहण करूँगा। भद्रे, क्या तुम मुझे नहीं जानती हो अथवा तुमने कभी मेरा नाम नहीं सुना है? अरे, देवताओं में भगदड़ डालने वाला शंखचूड़ मैं ही हूँ। मैं दनु का वंशज तथा दम नामक दानव का पुत्र हूँ। पूर्व काल में मैं श्री हरि का पार्षद था। मेरा नाम सुदामा गोप था। इस समय मैं राधिका के शाप से दानवराज शंखचूड़ होकर उत्पन्न हुआ हूँ। ये सारी बातें मुझे ज्ञात हैं, क्योंकि श्री कृष्ण के प्रभाव से मुझे अपने पूर्व जन्म का स्मरण बना हुआ है। सनत कुमार जी कहते हैं, मुने, तुलसी के समक्ष यूँ कहकर शंखचूड़ चुप हो गया। जब दानवराज ने आदर पूर्वक तुलसी से ऐसा सत्य वचन कहा, तब वह परम प्रसन्न हुई और मुस्कुराकर कहने लगी। तुलसी बोली, भद्र पुरुष, आज आपने अपने सात्विक विचार से मुझे पराजित कर दिया। जो पुरुष स्त्री द्वारा परास्त न हो सके वह संसार में धन्यवाद का पात्र है, क्योंकि जिसे स्त्री जीत लेती है वह पुरुष सदाचारी होते हुए भी सदा अपावन बना रहता है। देवता, पितर और समस्त मानव उसकी निंदा करते हैं। जन्नाशौच तथा मरणाशौच में ब्राह्मण 10 दिनों में, क्षत्रिय 12 दिनों में और वैश्य 15 दिनों में शुद्ध हो जाता है तथा शूद्र की शुद्धि 1 मास में हो जाती है। ऐसा वेद का अनुशासन है। परंतु स्त्री से पराजित हुए पुरुष की शुद्धि चिता दाह के अतिरिक्त अन्य किसी प्रकार से संभव नहीं है। इसी कारण उसके पितर उसके द्वारा दिए गए पिंड तर्पण आदि को इच्छा पूर्वक ग्रहण नहीं करते तथा देवता भी उसके द्वारा अर्पित किए गए पुष्प, फल आदि को स्वीकार नहीं करते। जिसका मन स्त्रियों द्वारा आहित हो जाता है, उसके ज्ञान, उत्तम तप, जप, होम, पूजन, विद्या और दान से क्या लाभ? अर्थात उसके ये सभी निष्फल हो जाते हैं। मैंने आपके विद्या, प्रभाव और ज्ञान की जानकारी के लिए ही आपकी परीक्षा ली है, क्योंकि कामिनी को चाहिए कि वह अपने मनोनीत कांत की परीक्षा करके ही उसे पति रूप से वरण करे। सनत कुमार जी कहते हैं, व्यास जी, जिस समय तुलसी यूं वार्तालाप कर रही थी, उसी समय सृष्टिकर्ता ब्रह्मा वहां आ पहुंचे और इस प्रकार कहने लगे। ब्रह्मा जी ने कहा, शंखचूड़, तुम उसके साथ क्या व्यर्थ में वाद विवाद कर रहे हो? तुम्हें गंधर्व विवाह की विधि से इनका पणिग्रहण करो, क्योंकि निश्चय ही तुम पुरुष रत्न हो और ये सती साध्वी नारियों में रत्न स्वरूपा है। ऐसी दशा में निपुण का निपुण के साथ समागम गुणकारी ही होगा। फिर तुलसी की ओर लक्ष्य करके बोले, सती साध्वी तुलसी, तू ऐसे गुणवान कांत की क्या परीक्षा ले रही है? यह तो देवताओं, असुरों तथा दानवों का मान मर्दन करने वाले हैं। सुंदरी, तू इसके साथ संपूर्ण लोकों में सर्वथा उत्तम उत्तम स्थानों पर चिरकाल तक यथेष्ट विहार कर। शरीरांत होने पर यह पुनः गोलोक में श्री कृष्ण को प्राप्त होगा और इसकी मृत्यु हो जाने पर भी तू वैकुंठ में चतुर्भुज भगवान को प्राप्त करेगी। सनत कुमार जी कहते हैं, मुने, इस प्रकार आशीर्वाद देकर ब्रह्मा अपने धाम को चले गए। तब दानव शंखचूड़ ने गांधर्व विवाह की विधि से तुलसी का पणिग्रहण किया। यूं तुलसी के साथ विवाह करके वह अपने पिता के स्थान को चला गया और मनोरम भवन में उस रमणी के साथ विहार करने लगा। अध्याय 13 से 29 समाप्त। जय गुरुजी, शुक्राना गुरुजी।